and spoil them so that give them a lot of sugar so that they can go home and keep their parents up like our children kept us up. So it's always been a joy for me to watch my grandchildren grow up, and it's a lot of fun for me to try and do with them things that I hope they enjoy and talk to them and spoil them so that give them a lot of sugar so that they can go home and keep their parents up like our children kept us up.
Of another generation. I look at my grandchildren and I try to see in them what attributes they have of their parents. And I don't know, it's just, the generations go on and everything that we've had goes into them. And it's just, keeps moving on.
My senior year, I had to change schools. And that was difficult. I had gone to school about 6 miles north of where we lived. And the closest school to us was only 2 miles away. So it was in 1969 that I changed schools. It was my senior year. It was a situation where I had to develop new friends, new acquaintances, get acclimated to a new school and new teachers and everything. So that was pretty challenging.
How was your experience at Southern University?
Good time, and also a challenging time because I also worked full time to put myself through school. And it meant not being able to, in some instances, connect as well socially as a lot of my friends could because they didn't necessarily have the same obligation to a sometimes full work schedule.
Did you ever get to go back to the village to see your parents?
Well, the thing, the city is by walking. We don't have buses. By walking, it took about 4 to 5 hours walking.
Oh,
So I really don't go back to the village except in the summer. My mom came out to the city to stay very often, uh, about 3 or 4 days at a time. So in a way, I don't really miss her. If I look back, for anybody that is at the age of 9 to become independent, I think is really quite a job.
Nana,
Yes.
what was one of the biggest challenges for you in your life?
Probably being a mother. Being a mother of 3 children. And balancing, Milo. For me, the biggest challenge is to balance, to keep an equilibrium on everything.
Yes. Oh, but what was one of the biggest accomplishments in your life? What are you most proud of?
Well, I suppose I'm most proud of the fact that I had 3 wonderful children, and I was able to give them a home and put them all through university and have a successful little business that kept us all going, and in fact is still keeping us going. Yeah, I think that was probably my biggest achievement. I would certainly say that. And my grandchildren's, just by the way.
What was your favorite subject in school?
History. I liked history.
What was special about history?
Well, I especially liked we had Georgia history separate from world history, and since I grew up in Savannah, there was a lot of history in Savannah, and we could go around and see some of the buildings and the things that they talked about. So that was interesting to me, and I really liked it.
Papa, what was your favorite childhood memory when you were younger?
I guess my favorite childhood memory was growing up and going to our family's bakery and always thinking that one day I would be in the bakery business. And I loved eating all the cookies and cakes and mostly bread.
Was there anything special that was baked there?
It was a kosher bakery, and so we supplied all of the synagogues and all of the restaurants and hotels. And I guess we were the first bakery in Atlanta to have bagels.
Everybody wanted the bagels.
Mm-hmm.
They still do.
The one thing that I always remember is being at your age, we didn't have a TV. I think TV was just being invented around that time in the 1950s. And then, of course, we didn't have a car. We didn't go anywhere, basically. So our pleasures in life were I shouldn't use the word restricted, was to find enjoyment in what we do have, not what we don't have. Their growing up was similar to ours in the sense that you make do with what you have.
Mm-hmm. If you two could tell the whole world one thing, what would you tell them?
Me or Opa?
Both of you.
Okay, I'll answer first. If I had to tell the whole world, if I could speak to the whole world at once, I'd say, for goodness sake, think of others before you think of yourselves.
Yeah. And I think I would say, get back to loving one another. Get back to compassion.
Opa, what does compassion mean to you?
Compassion means love of my fellow man, which is the greatest commandment that God gave us, is to have compassion on our neighbors, those people that live with us. You know, the Bible says we must love God with all our heart and also to love our neighbor as we love ourselves. And that is, I think, for me, the greatest meaning of compassion.